This is Top Accolade Global News Update. I am Abiodun Mohammed. NATO members are racing to complete a plan to provide long-term support to Ukraine, but are wrestling with how best to assure the country's security until it can join the military alliance, according to US and European officials. With 4 weeks to go until a NATO summit in Vilnius that is expected to approve the plan, there is agreement that Ukraine cannot join the alliance, while fighting is still underway against Russian forces, a position accepted in early June by President Volodymyr Zelensky after months of pleading for speedy admission. Alliance members are close to agreeing incremental steps to strengthen ties with Ukraine, including upgrading how NATO and Kiev cooperate on a multi-year program to help Ukraine bring its security forces to NATO's operational and technical standards. According to officials, the allies have yet to resolve differences over how to address Ukraine's desire for membership, which has been governed by a vague 2008 declaration that it will join the North Atlantic Treaty Organization without setting out how or when. US Ambassador to NATO, Julian Smith, told reporters on Wednesday that members are still discussing how to respond to the Kiev government's membership aspirations. Ukraine says it has recaptured about 100 square kilometers of its territory during the 68th week of Russia's invasion as a long-planned counterattack gains momentum. But Russian President Vladimir Putin said Ukraine was suffering catastrophic losses and Kiev's casualties were 10 times greater than Moscow's. The counteroffensive is still in its early days, said Dmitry Grimes, a former commander who spent 2 years retraining the Ukrainian military from 2015 to 2017. Ukraine stepped up attacks along much of the 1,200 kilometers front. Russia's defense ministry said it repelled 4 Ukrainian ground attacks in the Crimea area of the eastern Donetsk region on June 9th. Further south, Eastern Forces spokesman Serhiy Cherevati said Ukrainian forces advanced by 1,200 meters around Bakhmut on June 9th and by 1,400 meters the following day. Russian military sources corroborated these advances. Ukrainian forces also launched a new front where Donetsk meets the Zaporizhia region on June 9th. Rescuers scoured seas off Greece on Thursday in a massive search operation as hopes dwindled of finding survivors of a shipwreck that killed at least 78 migrants in one of Europe's deadliest such disasters in recent years. Reports suggested hundreds of people had parked the fishing boat that capsized and sank early on Wednesday in deep waters about 50 miles from the southern coastal town of Pylos while being shadowed by the Greek Coast Guard. As dawn broke on Thursday, a Coast Guard vessel sailed into the nearby port city of Kalamata, transferring victims. After an official account, authorities revised the death toll to 78 from 79. They said 104 people were rescued. They said it was unclear how many had been aboard, but were investigating one account from a European rescue support charity that there could have been 750 people on the 20 to 30 meter long boat. The UN's International Organization for Migration said initial reports suggested up to 400 people were aboard. China's economy stumbled in May with industrial output and retail sales growth missing forecast, adding to expectations that Beijing will need to do more to shore up a shaky post-pandemic recovery. The economic rebound seen earlier this year has lost momentum in the second quarter, prompting China's central bank this week to cut some key interest rates with expectations of more to come. Industrial output grew 3.5% in May from a year earlier, the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) said on Thursday, slower than the 5.6% expansion in April and slightly below a 3.6% increase expected by analysts in a Reuters poll, as manufacturers struggle with weak demand at home and abroad. Retail sales, a key gauge of consumer confidence, rose 12.7%, missing forecasts of 13.6% growth and slowing from April's 18.4%. Data ranging from factory surveys and trade to loan growth and home sales have shown signs of weakness for the world's second biggest economy. Crude steel output extended both year-on-year and month-on-month falls in May, while daily coal output fell from April to NBS figures showed. New Zealand slipped into recession as the economy shrank in the first quarter, data showed on Thursday, reducing the risk the central bank would need to hike interest rates further by creating a new headwind for the government's re-election hopes. Gross domestic product (GDP) matched analyst expectation of a 0.1% contraction in the March quarter, but was well below the Reserve Bank of New Zealand's RBNZ forecast of 0.3% growth. Furthermore, fourth quarter GDP was revised to a contraction of 0.7% from a decline of 0.6%. The New Zealand dollar slipped 0.2% to $0.6197 after the data, as it was in line with market expectations and gave traction to the central bank's position that no further interest rate hikes would be needed. Weakness in the economy was broad-based, with output from half of the country's industries contracting, according to the Statistics New Zealand data. Growth was hurt by the impact of two major cyclones and flash floods in Auckland in January and February. Employment remains strong in New Zealand, limiting the effect for many people of a recessionary environment. That is the size of top accurate global news updates. You can follow us on our social media platforms as displayed on your screen. Happy Thursday!